Pittsburgh is following behind that. And in this one, Betty and Veronica leave Riverdale. They become foreign exchange students. And while they're out of town, we bring in 2 new characters. And there's a lot of interesting, and again, tension, a little heavier line. Yeah, can you talk on that, Glenn? Because you're involved in that somehow? He has no clue.
I don't know about that particular title.
Okay. Well, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that.
What's going to happen in Riverdale without Betty and Veronica?
Say that again, Victor.
What's going to happen in Riverdale without Betty and Veronica?
By the way, does anybody know who Victor is? Yes, who's Victor?
He is editor-in-chief of Archie Comics.
How long?
He's been in Archie for 50 years, but he's been editor-in-chief for like 4 or 5.
Can we give the man a hand? Victor's going to say something. Hold on, Victor. We try not to bring that up. It's Archie. We have, Jinx. We can talk about Jinx. They have notes here, the person's not here, so I'm going to move on to Campaign Pain. All right, that's me again. Did anybody notice the lovely shots of Barack Obama and Sarah Palin? Yes, you did, right? Okay. All right, so that's me again. I'm a very sick man. The company said to me, we'd love to do a story with Barack Obama and Sarah Palin in Riverdale. And I went, really? Okay. They said, well, what would you come up with? So I came up with one, and I pitched it to Victor, and he thought I was crazy. And he told me, no, we can't go there. I said, oh, come on. And then eventually I came back with a plot that he really likes. And so the gist of it is, and it's going to be coming out very soon. It comes out in the first issue in December. December and January. It's a 2-part series. Archie and Reggie are running for student body president. And they have as their campaign managers Veronica and Trula, who loves to give Jughead a hard time. She's a psych major. And when Veronica realizes that Archie's campaign is just tanking because Reggie's all personality. He's smooth, he's slick, he's got it together. And Archie's pretty much got a rep as a fumbling, girl-chasing, thank you very much, nutcase. So bottom line, Veronica decides to boost his image. And the best way to boost his image is to have him seen with somebody of prominence. And who does she decide to show him next to is Barack Obama, without the president's permission. And it all goes crazy from there. So you look forward to it. I had a great time writing it. I think it gets pretty crazy. I think there's some good stuff that's coming out of it. And I can't wait to hear some feedback from you on that one. Now, I'm rolling through these things because I really want to make sure that we have a good Q&A time. I want you to be able to talk to these folks and vice versa. So we're giving you some information. I hope you're taking notes. Anybody taking notes? Yeah, good. Okay, you're taking notes because afterwards, I want you to fire stuff at us, all right? So, I move on past that to Fernando again. Night at the Comic Shop. Hit it!
Night at the Comic Shop.
No, a little more exciting.
No. Night at the Comic Shop.
There you go.
That was 2 issues of Archie and Friends, where we did the first 2 parts to this story last year, where Archie and his friend Chuck, who works in the local comic shop in Riverdale, meteors hit the comic shop and bring to life.
That happens every day, right?
It's common. We have to deal with this problem. And these meteors bring to life all of these old comic book characters. And many of these characters, all of these characters, are characters that used to be published by Archie Comics. So we get to see a lot of characters that we haven't seen in a long time, like Cosmo the Merry Martian, as clips of him are buzzing by.
That's not him.
Superdog, Sam Hill puts in an appearance there, Captain Sprocket from the old Madhouse comics, just a lot of old comics that people have always been, old characters that people have always been asking for and wondering where they're at. Well, this gave us a chance to bring them back. So we did a 2-part story with them last year. Now we're doing a second 2-part story where these characters come back.
Went over so big, we enjoyed that.
Absolutely.
We answered the call.
Absolutely. So they're coming back, so we're doing 2 more parts.
Okay. Now we get to go to the lovely Tanya Del Rio, because we're going to talk about the new Double Digest. And they said they have your name down here, Betty and Veronica and Archie and Friends and the World of Archie. What are you doing with the Double Digest, Tanya? I'm sorry, the lovely Tanya. What are we doing?
I think that's Cheryl Blossom. Is that correct? Double Digest. I guess. Well, anyway, I'm writing Cheryl Blossom. I did a 4-issue miniseries. It's kind of like a Gossip Girl style, where it's about her life at Pembroke Academy. There's a lot of drama when a new student enrolls in the school from abroad, and a lot of jealousy flares up. So it's kind of a fun little mini-series. And I also just wrote an Archie and Friends story that's kind of a follow-up to Jughead 200, where which stole his metabolism. He loses another eating contest, which is very distressing to him, and he runs into Sabrina and asks for her help, and it ends up having sort of unintended consequences. So you'll check that out.
Excellent, thank you. And then it says also Sabrina's back. It says Sabrina, Tanya, and Fernando.
Really?
Hey, I don't make this stuff up. It's right here in red. Tanya and Fernando.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one.
Now I remember. I think we had that cover flashing by too.
That's not it, though.
It's an issue of Archie and Friends, and
Don't tell me, tell them.
That's the one I just mentioned, the follow-up to Jughead 200. I believe that was the cover for that. I don't know.
You know, when we look like this, like we don't know what we're doing, it's not that we don't know what we're doing, it's just we haven't rehearsed well. All right, well, you know, let's not worry about it. We have the Tiny Titans, Archie the Tiny Titans, and who's working on... Oh, okay, yeah, do that again. Good. Archie the Tiny Titans. Thank you very much. Who's drawing that? DC's handling that. All right, let's move right along here then. I don't think we need to talk about them now. Mega Man! Okay, yeah, we can do that. That works for me. Thank you very much. All right, so we can talk about Mega Man. Who's that? That's
That is
Wayne.
me and the esteemed Patrick Spaziante.
And who are you?
I'm Ian Flynn. I'm going to be the writer for Mega Man.
Oh, he got an applaud by himself. Ian's family's here.
Mega Man is a really exciting project. Capcom came to us and said, "You've done such a good job with Sonic the Hedgehog. Would you be interested in doing Mega Man?" And we replied, very sedately, yes. And it'll be coming out early spring next year sometime. Spaz here is going to be doing the cover art, and
I'm sorry, who's doing the cover art?
Spaz.
Spaz here, right? Is that Spaz?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And at least the first issue's interior art, and it will be a new ongoing series to run concurrent with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, and you've already talked about the Sonic 25th anniversary. Did you mention that?
Not yet.
You didn't mention that?
No.
Ian, why don't you mention that?
I think I will.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have a really exciting alignment of the stars coming up around this summer because we have our 225th anniversary issue in Sonic the Hedgehog, which pretty much coincides with our 25th anniversary issue for Sonic Universe, which also happens about the same time as the 20th anniversary for Sonic the Hedgehog as a franchise. And since this is such a small occasion, we've decided to go all out with it. Universe number 25 will start the silver arc. I saw the cover flit by.
Oh, we got another applause here.
That cover is also done by the esteemed Spaz. It's going to be all CG and very pretty and shiny. 225 is going to be a major milestone issue, a big shake-up point for the plot. The image that I saw flit by is only a fraction of the whole cover. So there's a lot of surprises in store, and that will have a direct continuation into the project that we are working very closely with Sega for the 20th anniversary.
Excellent. You did that all pretty well there, considering.
Thank you. I stayed up all night talking to a mirror. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but that's not really.
Well, you are, but that's not important now. Okay. And then Random House. Dan, they have you down here to talk about the Random House transition? Yes, that's what they have Dan here. You know, Archie and Friends All-Star Volume 8 and all that stuff. You want to talk about that, or would Victor like to talk about that?
Random House is distributing our graphic novel.
Thank you, Victor. That pretty much covers that. Random House is... Yes. The graphic novels you'll be able to find. Barnes & Noble, Borders, all the wonderful places that you weren't looking now. You can definitely go look and find everything we've ever done in life. Okay, so now we've covered. I want to, like I said, I want to have a chance to get some Q&A going, but I also want to take a moment and see if any of the artists, was there anything we didn't mention that you want to throw out there? I'd like to give you that moment. So, take it away. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to get a plug in.
Who are you again?
I'm Andrew Peapoy,
There you go.
and I started out at Archie mostly inking the various Sonic books. I inked Sonic and probably almost the entire run of Knuckles for my first 10 years at Archie. Until one day, my fine editor, Mike Pellerito, who's hiding out in the back of the room and has just been promoted to president, so let's give him a round of applause.
All
So anyway, he saw something I'd done for somebody else and said, hey, you know, that looks kind of like Katie Keene. You want to try bringing her back? And so this was about 4 or 5 years ago. And so you may remember we brought her back for a little while, running an Archie and Friends, and they did a nice little trade paperback collection of all that stuff, which is available at the Archie booth. And but after she's taken a little break now, they've been kind enough to ask me to come back and bring her back. So we're still not sure exactly where she's coming back next year, but it's going to be the equivalent of about a 6-issue miniseries. So it might be a miniseries, she might be one of the magazines, might be somewhere else. So keep an eye on Archie.com for that. But it's going to be, like I said, about six issues. I'm writing and drawing the first and 6th issue and the covers for the whole 6. Tanya here wrote issues 2 through 5, and Anna Maria Cool penciled those, and I'll be inking those. And you know, we're going to have Paul Mounts, who you may know is, you know, colorist on Fantastic Four and all that sort of stuff, coming over and coloring the covers. And you know, once again, Katie's back. Adventures in Hollywood, adventures with her modeling, adventures with her singing, and once again, if you have ever read Katie, you may remember, you know, you guys are all a part of that one. You know, whatever she's wearing, whatever her little sister Mackenzie's wearing, whatever her friends are wearing, even sometimes what they're driving or have in their house. You know, we're looking for reader suggestions and all that stuff. Send, you know, take a look at the website at Archie.com and get the address and send me stuff. You know, Katie needs something to wear. You know, and it could be whatever you came up with.
I won't be doing that. I won't be sending any suggestions.
Oh, but you know,
I'm gonna pass.
hey,
I want her to look cool, you know.
I've had suggestions from everyone from, you know, little 4-year-old kids to like 80-year-old women who read Katie Keene back in the 40s and 50s. And for those of you who don't know, Katie has a long history at Archie. She was created back in the mid-40s and ran all over in all sorts of books and her own title back, you know, from like the mid-40s till the early 60s, and was back again in the 80s. So Katie's got a long history there at Archie. And, you know, like I said, I got little kids bringing in stuff. I got, you know, like I said, 70, 80-year-old women who read it back in the 40s sending me stuff.
So you're serious? You want it? He's serious. He wants you to write in. So do that.
I am, yeah. So you know, send me anything. And if you want a good tip, something nobody ever sends me stuff for is clothes for the guys. So you know, you want to get your name in the book, and send me something for the guys to wear.
Joe, you're sitting there. I love you, and I've worked with you on Scooby-Doo and some other things, and so I know you're doing some great stuff for Archie. What would that be?
Well, I've got an arc called The Wonder Realm, and it's going to be in, I think, double digest. I'm not quite sure where it's coming out, but it's a 5-issue, amounts to a 5-issue story that is Dilton manages to get the entire Archie gang transported into a virtual universe where they have to fight their way through Archie versions of all kind of the history of video games, and you're coping with everything from versions of Mario Brothers to versions of Warcraft. So, and of course, there are games in World of Hamburgers, and Jughead has problems there. But it's kind of really cool. Part of it is actually the Archie characters in hard-nosed action sequences with giant laser guns shooting monsters, and because they're all into the video games, and they're kind of shifting from one style to another as it goes through. So it's one of the different sort of things. I think
Who's writing this?
Actually, that was written by Steve Oswald, who I think Steve's official